Are you ready to go on an adventure? Let's take a journey together way, way out into space. We're going to fly past our moon, past the red planet Mars, all the way to a world of giant, swirling clouds. Just imagine a planet that looks like it's been painted with stripes of orange and cream, like a huge, beautiful marble spinning in the dark. That's our destination, the planet Jupiter. Now, you won't believe how big this planet is. It is so enormous, you could fit 1,000 of our Earths inside of it. Seriously, if our whole planet was the size of a tiny grape, Jupiter would be a giant basketball. It's the biggest planet in our solar system, a true giant made of gas and, well, full of mystery. For a long, long time, we've only seen Jupiter's storms, just endless swirling clouds. But what if there's something more? What if, tucked away between all those stormy layers where no one has ever looked before, there was something magical? Okay, so this is where our story really starts, right here on Earth with a super smart sister and brother named Nova and Cosmo. Nova could build anything, and Cosmo was always dreaming of space adventures. And one night, their homemade radio telescope, which they built from an old satellite dish and a toaster, believe it or not, it picked up something impossible. It wasn't the usual static you hear from space, that crackle and hiss sound. Oh no, this was different. It sounded like wind chimes made out of pure starlight. It was a faint, beautiful song that had traveled millions and millions of miles all the way from Jupiter. So they leaned in closer, totally mesmerized. And as that starry music played, glowing green letters started to appear on their little screen. It was like a message in a bottle, but sent across a giant ocean of space. And it was a call for help. Jupiter? I mean, how in the world could two kids possibly get all the way to Jupiter? Well, here's a little secret about the universe. When a real call for heroes goes out, the universe sometimes answers. And as Nova and Cosmo looked out their window, a soft silver light began to drift down from the night sky. And there it was, a spaceship. It was sleek and totally silent, with wings that shimmered like they had captured lightning inside them. And get this, a gentle voice, kind of like the hum of 1,000 happy bees, came from the ship itself. It invited them on board. It even knew their names. It knew they were the ones who had to answer the call. Can you imagine how they felt? Their hearts were pounding. They were a little scared, but mostly they were so excited. They climbed inside and the Cloud Rider took off in a silent flash. Soon, the giant striped face of Jupiter filled their whole window. A blue shield flickered on around the ship and then they dove right in. The whole ship rattled and shook as the winds outside roared like a grumpy giant waking up from a very long nap. They flew deeper and deeper through layers of thunder and lightning. And just when they thought they couldn't take any more shaking, everything went quiet. The storm just stopped. The thick clouds parted in front of them like giant curtains at a magic show, and they saw a soft, amazing light. What they saw was unbelievable. It was a city, a whole city floating in a secret, calm layer of the clouds. This was Zephyra. It had towers shaped like giant seashells and bridges that wobbled like they were made of glowing jelly. The air smelled like cinnamon and starlight, and music was coming from buildings that floated like balloons. Gentle creatures made of shimmering mist floated out to say hello. These were the Zephyrians. Their eyes twinkled like tiny stars, but you could see they were very sad, because even though their home was so beautiful, something was terribly wrong. Their magnificent city was slowly, quietly sinking down into the dangerous, crushing storms they had just flown through. The Zephyrians led them to the very heart of the city, and there, floating in the air, was a giant, gorgeous crystal. This was the sky crystal. You see, it powered everything. It was the energy from this crystal that kept the whole city floating. But its light? Well, its light was going out. It was just a dim, flickering pulse. The city was running out of power. "We have to help them," Nova said right away. The Zephyrians explained that there was only one place in the whole solar system with enough energy to recharge the crystal. And oh boy, it was in the scariest place you can imagine, the very center of Jupiter's Great Red Spot, a storm bigger than our entire Earth that's been raging for hundreds of years. So, that was the plan. A very dangerous, maybe even impossible plan. Step 1, take the fading crystal. Step 2, fly into the most violent storm we know of. Step 3, find a legendary place at its center called the Lightning Fountain. The fate of an entire city was on their shoulders. Ready, set, go. Okay, this was the really scary part. Flying into the Great Red Spot was terrifying. The winds howled, grabbing their little ship and tossing it around like a toy, and lightning bolts as thick as giant trees flashed all around them. It felt like they were flying right into the breath of a huge cosmic dragon. Cosmo gripped the controls, steering as hard as he could, while Nova had the most important job of all. She held on to that heavy, dimming crystal with all her might. And here's the amazing part. Every time a bolt of lightning cracked nearby, the crystal in her hands would flicker just a little brighter. It was working. They were getting closer. And then, just like before, silence. They broke through the storm wall and into the calm eye at the center. And they saw it. Rising up from the clouds was something no human had ever seen before. It wasn't a fountain of water. It was a beautiful, silent, rising fountain made of pure, wild lightning. "We're here," yelled Cosmo. The calm voice of the Cloud Rider spoke, but this time it sounded urgent. This was it, the moment of truth. It was all up to Nova. She took a deep breath and held the crystal out of a small window. And as soon as it touched that rising energy, wow, there was a silent, blinding flash of white light that lit up the entire storm. The crystal just drank in all that power, glowing brighter and brighter until it shone like its very own little sun. It was full. They had the crystal. Now they just had to get back, fast. With the shining crystals safely on board, they raced out of the storm and flew back towards Zephyra. The whole city was waiting, their misty shapes flickering with hope. But was it enough? Had their incredible, dangerous journey actually worked? As they put the crystal back in its place, a warm, powerful blue light pulsed out through the entire city. And then, the sinking stopped. And then, slowly, beautifully, the whole city began to rise, floating gently upwards, back to its safe home in the calm clouds of Jupiter. They did it! Everyone was so happy. The Zephyrians danced and swirled all around Nova and Cosmo, their little starlights twinkling with joy. Their leader bowed low and gave them a new title, a very special, secret title. From that day on, they would be known as the Guardians of the Cloud City. Nova and Cosmo came back to Earth, of course, but they were forever changed. They carried the greatest secret in the whole universe. So now, if you're ever outside at night and you see that really bright star that is the planet Jupiter, think of them. And if you're lucky enough to look through a telescope and see a tiny little sparkle deep in its clouds, now you know what it is. That's just the City of Zephyra and its brave guardians shining a little hello all the way back to you. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If a secret city can float in the clouds of Jupiter, what other amazing, wonderful secrets are waiting for us out there, hiding just behind the next star?